Welcome to the Worst of RIOT podcast. Nikki and Isaia is filling in for Hudson today.
The Nikki and Isaia version.
Yay! Did you have fun today?
Oh my gosh, it was so much fun.
More than Hudson?
Well, I can't go into detail of which day was better.
Okay, well, we still have Monday too.
Yeah,
so
you have another chance on Monday to really solidify my decision.
That's right. And then you tell us which ones voted off the island.
Yeah, exactly. Who's kicked off the island on Tuesday.
So Hudson is on vacation. He'll return on Tuesday for that podcast. Isaiah's in for today. What do we have?
So one thing we nailed down is it might not just be Hudson that brings up hot dogs on the show every single day. And I also thought about when we brought it up on the show that we talk about it so much, it really is like it's almost like a podcast, like inside joke.
Yeah.
That we talk about hot dogs like every single day. Because we brought it up, I was like, I don't know if we've ever said on air like how much we actually talk about it, but in the podcast, we're like, we talk about hot dogs so much.
Because like usually for podcasts, I assume you guys are listening to the whole thing.
Yeah.
Whereas, we do a whole morning show. So there's more than just this podcast. So I don't think everybody's catching literally every part of the show. So we kind of described the hot dog thing that we have going on.
That all of you know about. That you know how much we've been bringing up. But if you are eating hot dogs, you might want to take a listen to what we talk about later because it's not so good. It's just not. It's just not looking too hot. But on the other side of food, we also have a long, deep conversation about waffles.
We do. That lasted a while.
It lasted a long time, but it was so good. We talked about my love for waffles and how breakfast food is by far my favorite food.
It is. And we got some good options and ideas from listeners. So if you want to text in, even when you're listening to the podcast, we still get those text messages. So just put that you're a podcast listener and you text 877 to RadioU if you want to add to it and put your name too.
And then we also talked about how Amazon is coming to what feels like real life, I guess. Mm-hmm. They're no longer just going to be online. They're coming in to have their own little stores as well.
Yeah, more than just grocery stores and like locker locations, because they already have those. So
yeah, exactly.
What else are they going to do?
What more can they do? They already have, Amazon's already made so much money that they're like, well, we might as well just open up buildings, I guess.
And we've gone full circle with Amazon.
Yeah, they've made it to where it's all the way around. We talked about that. We also talked about my failure of an adventure with Jim.
Jim is dog.
My little basset hound. I tried to do something special for him, and it just wasn't what I expected it to be.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be this big, nice thing, and he had to be even more disappointed than I was. Actually, I probably was more disappointed than he was because he had no idea what he was really going into.
You sound like a good doggy dad. I think he just probably was excited to go with you.
Yeah, exactly.
And he didn't even notice what you'll find out in the podcast happens.
Yeah, he was excited to just get out of the house. For me, it was a huge letdown because I was like, dang, I had this big plan. Thought it was going to be a special day. And then he just thinks it's just every other day. It's nothing even special for him.
Well, enjoy the podcast today. Isaiah, thank you for filling in.
Yeah.
And again, say hi, 877 to RadioU, or go to RadioU Riot, our Facebook page. Our podcast shows there. You can listen to them and always message us too. All right?
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
It was bad enough the first time around, but now it's worse. Don't believe us? Just keep listening. You'll find out soon enough. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Have you ever heard of like the no shoes, no shirt, like no service?
Oh, yeah, the sign when you go into a place.
Of course, yeah. Do you think that applies for like breaking into a house?
That's a good question. I mean, in the house, you don't have to have shoes.
Because
certain if you live there.
A man broke into a house and immediately got super, super comfortable. Took off his shoes, took off his shirt, and they have a video of it, and it literally looks like he's just kind of lounging around, no worries in the world.
He's moving in.
He's just moving in. He's looking around, and he went through the whole entire house. And they said that in the video and what they reported was that he was looking for alcohol, but he looked like he was shopping.
What?
Like in the video, he's like checking out the bike in there, like he was kind of just roaming around the house.
But he wasn't stealing anything?
He ended up leaving with nothing. But he was trying to, he already had broken into the house. He was trying to steal something, but I guess he just didn't find what he was looking for.
So did he drink anything, or was he just, they think he was
searching for the alcohol.
For something, and he didn't steal anything, though.
He was raiding the fridge heavy. He was searching through the fridge, which makes sense.
If you're hungry.
Yeah, exactly.
You're just looking for stuff. So it looks like, I think they're trying to find him.
He's still on the loose.
They're posting video on it. The one thing that's weird is when you watch this, and this happens with a lot of our news stories, why does everybody have a camera right in your living room,
I don't know.
kitchen area? I mean, I understand outside stuff like your front door and the yard.
Yes.
But don't you think it'd be weird to have a camera on you all the time in your living room?
See, you know what I think it is? I think it's like a dog camera.
You think?
Because for my place, I have a camera that sits in my living room so I can see
to watch your dog.
So I can see Jim roaming around.
And you can got a puppy.
Yeah, exactly. So I need to know what he's doing during the day. So I feel like it's a dog camera that people have because why else would you have it? It's just perked up in the corner and it looks perfect. It almost looks like it's a setup.
I think it's either for dogs or everybody wants a viral video.
Yes.
So if you think that maybe you'll catch someone, this is in Surfside, Florida, and they are looking for the guy who took his shirt off and just walked around his house, this person's house.
You'd think, too, like, everybody has, like, some sort of camera in their house now.
Yeah.
So if you're breaking in somewhere, like, you want to be, like, quick, get in and out, like, maybe wear something on your face. He's just roaming around. He has no worries whatsoever.
Maybe he was already partaking of substances and he wasn't
even worried.
Or he should have taken his shirt and just tied it around
his head or something. Because you can completely see his face.
Yeah, so the authorities said, I guess he got relaxed. So he was in there to find something to drink, and he did just mosey around, but authorities are looking for the guy in Florida, and they have plenty of video of him without his shirt on, just not stealing anything. So I guess then what do you face criminal charges?
Like breaking
just the breaking and entering
I'd say
part?
breaking and entering, which I don't know what you get charged for with that.
Well, something.
You have to go to, do you go to jail for that?
I think you get shamed.
Yeah, it's mainly shamed, maybe a fine.
I think you get some days in the smaller jail, but not the bigger one. But it would be more
little jail.
Yeah, if he stole something, then it would have been more charges
He
for
just
him.
didn't find anything that he liked.
All right, well.
Store at room temperature? Now that they can do. The Riot RadioU.
We try really hard, and I think we bring it up more in the Worst of Riot podcast, but we basically, and this is Hudson.
It's like every day.
Every day. I think we talk about hot dogs every day.
At least once.
In some way, shape, or form.
Literally every single day, at some point during the show, hot dogs either come up or they're planned to come up or somehow they get said and it goes on for like an entire break.
Why do you think that is? Is it
Hudson?
Hudson, because he likes hot dogs. Like
it's going to cost him. It's going to cost him in the long run.
It's going to cost him days. He has a hot dog maker here that you put the hot dogs in and then you put the buns in. And then you try not to say anything, but like after show snack, I'll walk in and he's got like 2 hot dogs with ketchup all over it.
So whenever people come in, they're like, why does it smell like hot dogs in here?
So I thought we need to continue the tradition even if Hudson's not in today. And
it'll make him feel nice.
Yeah, worry that the hot dogs that he's having could be potentially dangerous for him.
This is a big time for Hudson because he's like the only person that I know that enjoys hot dogs so much to where maybe this will put him in check a little bit.
You think so?
It could possibly. So when you look at this here, it says hot dogs could cost you 36 minutes of healthy life.
So they take away 36 minutes of your life?
They just start chunking it off every time you have a hot dog.
This is a University of Michigan evaluation. They evaluated 5,800 foods that we like the most. And they said that some foods give you minutes on your life and other foods take away, and hot dogs is like the biggest one that takes away the
36
time.
minutes is like a pretty big amount of time to get chunked off every single time.
So do you think that's per hot dog or per like pair of hot dogs? Because he eats the 2 every time.
It's gotta be per hot dog. If they're doing it like this, you have to be like per hot dog.
Per hot dog. Well, at that point, Hudson.
It's 30 minutes every time.
Yeah, you're losing
It adds
a lot.
up pretty quick. But it says choosing a serving of nuts instead could help you gain 26 minutes.
Now, what nuts are just anything or?
Let's see here. I assume it's just any kind of nuts. You'd think, right? Peanuts?
Well, this is salted peanuts at 26 minutes. It'll give you 26 minutes of healthy life.
Oh, and it says baked salmon gain you some 26 and 16 minutes as well.
We know that, but
of
no one
course.
wants that.
No.
I tried heating up salmon here once.
Heating it up?
Like I had it for dinner, and then I brought it for lunch the next day. And man, they opened up the windows.
Oh,
they
yeah.
shamed me. I was like,
chance you can bring it back.
I'm never bringing salmon in.
Tomorrow's just pizza, I guess. It's pizza.
I'm having hot dogs.
Yeah, it's a hot dog tomorrow.
They said that rice with beans, if you eat that, will get you 13 healthy lifespan minutes. Some other negatives. This one hits me hard, man. I love chicken wings. Chicken wings, I'll lose 3.3 minutes.
3.3? That's not that bad, though.
Is that
There's
per
so many other ones.
or per wing? Because I can eat a lot of wings.
It also says, this is kind of, I don't know about this. It says apple pie gets you plus 1.3 minutes. So
no
you gain
I'm not
minutes.
Gaining minutes for
apple pie. No
I'm
chance.
Not. I think that's a lie there.
It has to be. Why would you gain? Maybe I guess it's just a fruit. I guess is apple pie good for you? It can't be.
Well, that's a big stretch. And I tend to have less apple, more crust.
Oh yeah, you have to.
I'll take that and I'll just leave the filling to it. But it must be the apple part of it.
It has to be. Maybe they think we're like really loading up the apple. I think that for Hudson, it's not going to be a cutback of hot dogs. It's just going to be an addition of salted peanuts to try to just even it out. He's going to have a hot dog and then a serving of salted peanuts, and then he only loses like 10 minutes.
No,
that's not that bad.
We're going to work hard on Tuesday when he comes back, and we're going to provide the healthy alternatives for him.
Oh my
without
gosh.
him knowing about this story. So no one tell him. We'll just be like, hey, have some baked salmon. I just have extra.
We're going to have an intervention with him. Hudson, we need to sit down with you.
We read this University of Michigan thing. And
we have something we need to talk to you about.
And you're losing hours of your healthy lifespan.
It adds up big time. It's quick. It happens really fast.
And we're worried.
The Riot promise is that they'll always have an opinion on everything they talk about. But that doesn't mean any of their opinions will make sense. This is The Riot on Radio U.
So have you ever done something, Nikki, and then it just didn't go out like how you thought it would at all?
Well, absolutely.
So yesterday, I came home from work, and I actually wasn't feeling that tired, which for me was fantastic.
Because he's, getting used to being a morning person now.
Yeah, of course. And so I get home, and I go home to gym. I'm like, you know what? Let's do something special today. So I Google Maps. I'm like, where's the closest dog park?
You got to explain Jim is your dog.
Yeah, Jim is my dog. Sorry, I don't have like a typical dog name. So Jim is an animal that lives in my house that I feed and I let him live there. But I decide I'm going to take him to a dog park. So I just Google dog park near me. It's like 17 minutes away. Not that bad, but a decent little trip.
Well, then Jim gets a car ride and the dog park.
He does love the car. He loves the car. Like when I go outside with him and open up the car door, this dog, like he's a basset hound, so he's super short and like really awkward. Like he can't even get on the couch in the living room. He'll just put his paws on it because he's like so little still, so you had to pick him up. But if I open the car door, I have a truck. This dude will just scurry his way into it. I have no idea how.
Into it?
Somehow he can just out of the blue get into my vehicle, but he can't get on the couch in the living room. It makes no sense. Yeah, he's motivated. So I open the car door. He like scurries his way. I just like to watch him climb up there. And so he climbs up into the truck, and we start going. I get there. I'm like, where the heck am I at right now? I'm like, the dog park should be here around like somewhere. And then I find it as I'm pulling in. I'm like, no way. There's literally like one dog in this dog park.
You picked the wrong time.
And there's just like this woman sitting in there. And I'm like, okay, well, at least there's like one dog in here. And it was
Jim
just like.
Can have a friend.
It was this little chihuahua. And I didn't even know.
They don't want to play.
No. So I bring Jim in there. And the chihuahua wanted nothing to do with him whatsoever. Like he was a little like kind of like a little yappy guy who just right when we came in, Jim like loves to get in other dogs' faces and just starts sniffing right away. So he goes up to this thing and jumps back, like he's kind of freaking out a little bit because I was like, well, you think like you bring him to a dog park, he'd be like a sweet, like a pretty sociable dog.
That's not the case.
This dude did not want anything to do with Jim.
So they have does Jim count? Because the dog parks near us have like the smaller size doggy section and then the bigger size doggy section.
They did have that.
Does Jim count in which one?
So he could be in the. He typically plays with large dogs just because that's like what all my friends have are bigger dogs. So he's used to playing with big dogs. But right now he probably would be in the small dog one. But for whatever reason, the Chihuahua is in the large dog section.
Was in the wrong one?
I have no idea why. I think it was bigger and it seemed nicer in the large one than the small one. And I assume like if there's not a lot of people that go, you probably just put him in the large one because that's probably where the majority of people go.
Well, you failed your dog. You brought him there and no one was there to play with him.
He was probably so hyped up, and then I brought him in there and he was like, what the heck is this? Like, this is not a dog park.
Why are you lying to me, Dad?
I was in the car. I was hyping him up to him. Like, you excited? Like, we're going to the dog park. It's going to be so much fun. We get there and he's like, I never want to come here again.
You've got to I take my dogs to doggy camp.
Yeah,
so,
I know.
there's a dog place where, man, they're free inside. They don't care what they do.
Of course,
and
yeah.
The backslide thing's open. They get all this fresh air. They just go play there at camp.
It's like school for dogs.
It is. I mean, I spend more on my dogs for their daily care
than anything else in your life.
Anything
else in your life.
I'm not going to camp.
Yeah, exactly. Just another day at school, you're dropping them off with their little backpack. So they go to
camp like once or twice a week sometimes just to get them tired.
Oh, yeah.
So they're all like tired for the weekend. But you should take Jem to doggy camp.
I need to do something because when I come home after like when I'm tired during the day, he is just too much. Like he's still in like the bitey phase. And so I'm like coming home like maybe I want to take a nap or something. And he's just, if I lay down, he is just literally attacking my face.
He's going for it. It sounds like he's telling you he wants to go to dog camp.
You might be thinking that this won't be quite as bad the second time around. Well, you'd be greatly mistaken. We're listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Did you see the story about the kangaroo, Nikki?
I did not. I think it's in Pennsylvania, right?
It said in Pennsylvania.
When I saw that, though, we have a lot of RadioU listeners in Pennsylvania, so I thought this
be
is
on the
good,
lookout.
Well, and also like grab it while you can.
Yeah, exactly. So a kangaroo is on the loose, and the weird thing is, like typically when like an exotic animal like this breaks out, they typically come from like the zoo. But apparently, this one just came out of just thin air.
Oh,
Nobody
no one
knows.
is claiming it?
And nobody's willing to just say, like, it was mine. Like, I stole the kangaroo, you know?
Well, I think there are what we call home zoos.
Yeah.
You know, like you'd be surprised what people have at their houses, especially the further out you get from cities. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like, remember that tiger that got loose in Texas?
Yes.
That had a lot of illegal stuff going on.
Oh yeah, there's a lot more, but there's a lot of them. There was one where I like grew up. Mm-hmm. It was probably about, I would say, like a half a mile down the road from me, and they had like mountain lions and all kinds of cool stuff. That was like literally right down the road. I was like, if that breaks loose, like it's literally within walking distance of where I live. They're coming to you first. They're coming. If I hear, like, that was the crazy thing. You could hear them like howling at the moon and stuff. Like they were so loud, and so maybe that's what happened here. But at the same time, I feel like you'd say like, it's my kangaroo.
Yeah, but they don't want to claim it.
Yeah, you don't want to be the one. You don't want to be the guy to let the kangaroo loose.
Or maybe they let him out, like they, you know.
No, they freed him.
Well, it could be like he got too big, or they always, like, we see so many videos of people dropping dogs off places like they shouldn't.
They just open the kangaroo cage. And
maybe they had the kangaroo, or they say it's maybe a wallaby, which is a smaller animal.
It's a small. It's not even a big one. It's a little one. Okay,
it's a little one, so they're not sure. But I guess, are they still looking for it? No one knows where.
They're still on the look. And they said, the report said that the police at first thought it was like a prank call. They said that they thought like, oh, that's not like a real kangaroo.
Yeah.
But then there was like pictures and stuff that came out. They were like, oh no, it's a kangaroo.
Oh, he looks lonely. Like they have pictures of him, and he just wants to go home.
Well, I saw
the person where his home was doesn't want him anymore.
I looked online because I was like, you know, it'd be kind of cool as if like you could be the one to catch him, you know?
Yeah.
But they were like, the police were like, don't try to catch him. But I was like, wouldn't it be cool if you came outside like with a piece of bread or something?
And he would come up.
And got to like feed him. But it says that kangaroos run 43 miles per hour.
Oh, we're not catching
There's
them
no chance you can catch this thing. Like if 43 miles per hour is so fast for an animal to move, that if you got up like in close quarters with it, there's no way. They're not small either. Like if you went to grab it, if it ran like 10 feet, it would be gone.
Well, what if you grabbed it from behind and like did a bear hug thing?
You just hugged it.
You're just like, here, you're coming in, and I'm not going to tell him I caught you.
You just have to lure. I think you just need to lure it in with food. It's the only way you're going to be able to catch this thing is like with a little bit of food.
Well, what do we think would a kangaroo want to be lured with food wise?
I don't know. Maybe like a peach or something sweet.
A peach?
A peach.
I think
a mango. A strawberry.
First off, you're thinking we have those in our house.
Exactly.
So
we have no berries.
I was thinking potato chips. Like, let's think carbs.
A chocolate bar? I don't know.
Do you want the new McFlurry?
Yeah, exactly. Ice cream?
Yeah, we can help you out with that one.
He probably didn't get fed that before, so now he's thinking like, oh my gosh, this is new. Before he was getting berries and nuts.
Now he wants ice cream.
We can show him a Snickers.
So Mount Zion, Pennsylvania is where he's been sighted. So if you have any leads, they would like to be able to capture the kangaroo.
Or you just do it on your own. Do it the old-fashioned way, bare hands, you know?
I don't know about that.
With a net.
What do people say, the hunters that go out and like say they're just doing it with their truck?
Oh my, yeah, I know.
Gonna go, like gently just push them over, but don't hurt them.
Well, some people live for this. This is like their time to show like that they're a man, you know? They can go, oh, you know what? The police can't do it. I'll do it the old-fashioned way. I'll go get him.
Just remember, we're just trying to capture him.
Everything you love about the riot, plus a handy-dandy fast-forward option. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
now that we've done the show for a bit. Isaiah, I didn't know if you're getting hungry.
I am.
I heard about your waffle time.
I am getting very, very hungry. Usually when I'm in the side studio, I can just come and go as I please as you guys are in here talking, and I'm over there making waffles and hanging out and doing whatever. But it is getting to that time where I need my waffles. Usually I make them like 45 minutes ago.
Oh, really? I didn't know it was that early.
It's like the third thing I do when I get in here. I do the news, I do the traffic, and then I go in and I make some waffles. But yeah, like I said last time, I'm trying to mix it up because it's hard to do waffles every single day.
No.
But I have them in there. It is.
Are you sure?
Because I'm a big time breakfast person. It's like my favorite meal. Breakfast food is my favorite food. I don't know if you are a fan. Are you a breakfast eater? Because I've never seen you eat breakfast in here whatsoever.
I do a lot, and sometimes I'll eat after the show.
Yeah.
But I'm more like whatever I have leftovers, I'll usually just eat for breakfast. But I love eggs and like an omelet.
Yes.
But I'll have that at any time of the day. I actually sometimes prefer it for like lunch or dinner because I'm working, so I don't get to enjoy my breakfast.
No, there's no enjoying the breakfast. But one day when I was in here at like 9 o'clock, I didn't have any waffles yet. And so I was like still like bringing in things like Tim Hortons and whatnot into here. But one day I brought in nothing. And 9 o'clock rolled around and I was so hungry. And so the only thing I had brought in for my lunch, I had brought in like some buffalo chicken wings, like some traditional chicken wings. And so I texted my friends and I was like, guys, can I eat these? I was like, it's 9 o'clock in the morning.
You can.
I was like, is it justifiable? I was like, I've been up for like 5 hours. So like, if I woke up at 8, this would be like 1 o'clock or so. I'm like, so is it justifiable for me to eat these buffalo chicken wings?
It is. Did
at
they all
9
agree?
o'clock in the morning? So I was mixed votes. Some people were like, no, you're disgusting. It's 9 a.m. I was like, if it was like honey barbecue, maybe, but buffalo, you cannot get away with that. But I ended up eating them, and it changed my whole entire day.
You can have whatever, because like America puts an emphasis on like breakfast, but like if you go to other places, it's not like breakfast food. It's just you can have whatever food at any time.
Yeah,
You're just
exactly.
having it in the morning, and we get up so early that our mid-morning snack is like your guys' dinner.
Yeah, exactly.
So we can eat what we want to eat.
By the time like 9:30 rolls around, that's like lunchtime for us. But for everybody else, it's like, oh yeah, this is our breakfast or our donuts or whatever. If I'm eating breakfast, it's like 5 a.m. and I'm hoping to sneak it in.
As you get more used to being up so early, you eat whatever you want to eat.
Yeah,
don't feel bad about it.
Instead of having like the typical 3 meals a day, you have like 5 because like 9 o'clock it's lunch, and then like 11:30 rolls around, and now it's like time for like 5 o'clock almost dinner, and then you get off work at 2 and I'm hungry again. I'm like, when do I stop eating? Feels like it's like every 3 hours. I'm like, dang, my body's messed up or something.
You're grazing.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, oh, I'll have a snack here and a snack there, and then
if you
a little
want
bit over here.
I'll give you another song too.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
If you want to make your waffles, but I was going to tell you there is some, because I put something in the freezer yesterday. There's still the Fruity Pebbles ice cream that we have. I thought if you made waffles and
toss that on there,
and if you topped it with Fruity Pebbles ice cream, that would be like, it's the cereal ice cream.
Oh
that
my
would be
gosh,
really, really good.
Yeah, like what do people put on waffles other than like? Because I just do. I mean, now that we have whipped cream, I mean that changed the past couple of days for me. It's fantastic.
Because we have whipped cream here.
I put syrup on it, and then I put whipped cream. What else could I like add to it? Like people put nuts on. I know like chocolate chips are really, really popular
you should
in
make
waffles.
Eggs. You can make sausages. You can make a little sandwich. You can do chicken.
Oh yeah,
dude, your chicken wings would have been really good
with
in between
waffles. I should have done that. If I had the waffles, and then like I really could have justified the buffalo chicken at 9 o'clock in the morning, the chicken wings.
Go crazy with that.
Yeah, what do people put on waffles? Like, what's your like go-to thing to just toss on there? That'd be like really easy though.
Well,
like,
text
it can't be tough.
877 to RadioU. Give them some ideas. It doesn't have to be healthy. It doesn't have to be pretty. But Max said wings don't know what time it is.
Yeah, exactly. They have no idea.
That's deep right there. So text Isaiah, help him out. It's got to be something that we can have like in the break room.
Like super easy.
As much as like I like omelets, like I don't have an omelet station here. So.
And I can't really make things either. So it needs to be something I can kind of just like throw on there.
Here?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Something easy.
Well, if anybody has any ideas, 877 to RadioU and let Isaiah know what you think he should have.
Yeah! You were one of the lucky few who missed the riot when they were live. Yet here you are.
I also like to live dangerously.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Isaiah's in, and it is his, in case you did not hear, his morning waffle time.
Morning snack, whatever you want to call it. I'm hungry.
You're hungry.
I'm very hungry.
So Isaiah's been having waffles each morning, but now you want to try to branch out
I need
realistically for what you can add to waffles. here at work.
Yeah, I just need just something, like a little bit of something. Just anything to put on there because like waffles and syrup is good. But if you have waffles and syrup every single day for like 2 weeks,
you're tired of it.
It starts to get so old. But what else am I going to bring in here? Like, there's not a lot of things I can make very easily. Like, I don't want to make eggs or anything like that. But that's just like a lot of work.
Yeah.
Where like the waffles, I can just like throw in our little toaster and just like put them in there for like 6 or 7 minutes. I come back in here, mess around, and then I go back out
6
there.
6 or 7 minutes for your waffle?
Well, you want them to be crispy. They got to be crispy.
Dude, don't burn the place down.
No. I'm sure the kitchen's fine. It's fine.
Okay. That seems long, but
it's a little long.
Whatever you like for the toaster. Julia said, because we had mentioned, especially when you're in morning, like if you get up early like we do, we eat a lot during the day, like at like more than 3 meals.
Yeah.
And so Julia was saying, because you mentioned like you're just grazing, says it's healthy to eat 5 or 6 smaller meals a day. You do you.
Yeah. Well, what I said is, I didn't even know that I was being healthy. I just need to work on like the smaller meals part. Like everything else, smaller. I'm hitting great. I'm hitting 5 or 6 of them. But they just need to be smaller. My favorite thing is just going down and snacking, like chips, I go down to the break room, just kind of graze around, see what's in there. It's a nice little break for me to walk around. And, I'm just looking for something. I don't care if it's an oatmeal cream pie or anything. It just needs to be something.
Well, that way you're getting your steps in.
Exactly.
While you're still eating your smaller, healthy meal.
I'm doing the stairs every single time. I'm doing like 2 flights of stairs. So by the time I get down there, I've burned the calories that I'm about to eat.
If you're listening, you're like, oh, Isaiah, that doesn't seem... Isaiah, I think, is the healthiest out of all of us. So he's totally fine. Arthur said Nutella maybe and said good morning. Nutella seems to be the main thing everybody's recommending.
It is. That's like my favorite go-to. My girlfriend makes amazing Nutella crepes, and it is absolutely the greatest thing ever. I think I could eat it every single meal of the day.
We used to get the big jar from Costco, and then it would just sit on the break room table.
Forever.
But if you're eating waffles, like if you actually eat it...
every day.
Then that would be good. Stacy said, put Nutella on the waffles. That's what she does.
Nutella, peanut butter, any of that stuff. I saw someone recommended jelly.
Yeah, that would be good. Peanut butter and jelly.
So?
Oh, absolutely.
I feel like jelly would be kind of a weird... I feel like it'd be good. Like, I love grape jelly. I've always done, like, grape jelly on toast, like, forever.
Yeah.
That was, like, my favorite thing growing up. Like, in the morning, my dad would make me breakfast every day.
Aww.
And it always had to be jelly on toast. It was the best part. But I feel like that'd be kind of weird on a waffle.
Oh, no.
You think so?
There's nothing weird. That's what we're just accepting right
now. That's like what we're... I don't care what it is. I feel like there maybe like some peanuts or something like that would be kind of good with like the syrups. Peanuts would be okay.
So Julian said blueberries. Someone else texted in. You got to include your name, so text back with your name, but said waffles and peanut butter and then add berries to it.
Add berries.
And then True went all out, said, oh gosh, I'm so hungry too. This is awful.
I know, like I haven't eaten them yet,
hungry,
okay?
Guys, I love talking about food, but when you're hungry, sometimes it's the worst.
I know.
Sausage, egg, and cheese waffle sandwich.
Goodness.
He said that you can microwave your egg in the bowl and then put together the sandwich. And you can do it here at work.
It'd be so easy. It sounds so easy, but at the same time, I'm just so hungry right now. I just like want it now.
Jason said, Isaiah, you could get some frozen chicken strips and have chicken and waffles.
Oh, man.
Because we could just microwave it in the break room.
I do love some chicken strips.
I don't think I'll see you in the morning if you're doing all this.
I don't think so. You know what we need? I'm the new person, but we need one more new person. We just need like a chef. What do you think about having just like a chef at the radio station? Yeah, an intern chef. We're taking applications right now. Intern chef, new position.
So are you going to pay for the food or?
No. That's a part of the internship. You do the shopping as well, of course. That's what you do. You wake up a lot earlier than we do.
Well, I think you've got some good ideas if you want to implement them, but otherwise you just have only regular waffles this morning.
Yeah, well, they're almost ready right now, so we just like have to go.
Oh, you put them in the toaster.
Oh, they're ready.
Hudson sees the glass as half empty. But get this. He thinks a glass half empty is good. The Riot. RadioU.
Isaiah had his morning waffles, so he's fed.
I feel a lot better now, but not quite. If I feel a lot better, I did put the whipped cream on there, the syrup, and I added the Fruity Pebbles ice cream as well, which was so good.
Dude, you're going to crash in like 20 minutes.
I know. I'm going to be all hyped up for the next 30 minutes. I'll be talking like crazy.
And then that's it.
And then the end of the show, I'm just going to be dragging. But I also like reading everybody's texts in here. Like, I really, really want to put some Nutella on them.
That's
so
the next step. Next week on Monday, bring in Nutella, have your waffles.
Because, like, after seeing everything they texted in, I was like, wow, like, these waffles could be so much better. But the Fruity Pebbles were a good touch. They were good.
You're not doing enough.
Yeah, I know.
You're not doing it the right way.
I need just a little bit more, and then my mornings will be just, like, that much better. But I do feel a lot better, re-energized for the next 15 minutes.
Well, I felt bad because so much food talk. Like Chris, he texted in and he wasn't going to eat till he got to work, but he's already starving now from hearing all that. So on to how about cat talk and gun talk from Kenosha, Wisconsin. Someone did get shot, but they're fine.
Yeah, they're okay.
So I think the details around the shooting are what you would not expect to hear about happening.
Yeah, when you think about someone getting shot, it's usually like pretty like traumatic.
Yeah.
But this is just so stupid. Like it's just so
Probably
dumb.
still traumatic for the person.
Yeah, it's traumatic for the person who got shot. But so apparently, like when you're playing like with your cat, and like with a little laser pointer, and they're like chasing it around and whatnot. So some people have those on a firearm.
Yes.
So they thought it'd be a good idea to use the firearm laser pointer as like a little toy.
So I don't know if there's any, I have a gun, I just don't use it. It's Eric's, but I don't know enough about laser pointers. If you had a laser pointer on a gun, like a laser sight.
Yes.
So does that work, or does it only work if it's attached to the gun? Because for this lady, she had it attached to the gun, which some guy brought in, and she didn't realize, she thought the magazine had been taken out of it, but it had not. So when she was playing with the cat with the laser sight, it ends up shooting the guy who, maybe it's the guy who brought the gun.
The guy, I'm pretty sure it's the guy who brought the gun, shot him in the thigh. At least it was the thigh, but at the same time, how do you you're not supposed to?
Cat.
Yeah, exactly. At least they didn't shoot the cat. But at the same time, you're not supposed to play with guns. Whether you think there's a magazine in there or not, but they probably were laughing and giggling and all this stuff, and then all of a sudden it just goes boom.
It changes. That's why I wasn't sure if you take the sight, like a laser sight, off of a gun.
Can you still use it?
Does it work as a laser pointer then? Because I'm just not sure.
Yeah, exactly.
enough.
Can you just attach it on there and then there's just a different button?
William just texted and said it'll work when it's off the gun. So
well,
they
then
just
take it off the gun.
Yeah,
take it off the gun. What do you think? You're not supposed to play with guns, and then you're using it to play with your cat.
Now, this is not a surprise. Witnesses say that the woman who used the gun with the laser sight had been drinking.
Oh, of course.
And was not probably fully aware. And the guy in the doorway, they didn't say what he's been doing. But he went into another apartment after he got shot. Police found him after they called 911, and they were able to stop the bleeding. It seems he's fine, but he is facing charges for violating bond conditions because he had a weapon that was his gun.
Well, how I think of this is in two ways. He left the room, which is because of one of two reasons. He was so mad at the female for shooting him, or it sounds like the party might have just continued to go on. He didn't want the music going on,
Oh, sure.
He wanted somewhere to relax. I'm thinking it has to be because he was upset with the girl, but you never know. Maybe she just continued on her night. Maybe it's just another Saturday for her.
I don't think she was fully aware of everything, but again,
no chance.
After this story, Nikki is just so glad, and I just want someone to get in and get the cat out of there.
Yeah.
That's a rough environment.
This cat is not in a safe home, let alone anybody else, but that cat is in danger.
We'll take it. Okay, if you're playing with guns, you can't be around cats.
Yeah, you just need to buy a laser pointer for the cat. We don't need to use one that's on the gun.
If you're looking for hot takes on the day's most important news stories, you're in the wrong place. You're listening to The Riot on RadioU.
One thing that isn't going so well is just people's behavior in really small spaces like an airplane. And because of that, they had to extend the ban on main cabin alcohol sales through 2022.
Yeah, so this is going from American Airlines. So I'm not sure what the other airlines will do, but there was questions concerning how long will a mask mandate be in effect? And then with that, how long will alcohol sales be banned in the main cabin? That means probably still first class.
So if you want it, you can get it. You just have to pay a little extra. All of the gremlins in the back, they are not allowed. But us finer people in the front.
Yeah, they can handle it.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's what that means. I've never noticed that they say main cabin alcohol sales.
If they aren't talking about that, then it would be where else is it at?
That is first class.
It has to be. Why else would you would you say it unless like the flight attendants or something are able to have it or something like that?
Are you saying the pilots?
The
can
pilots,
still have it?
the main cabin, but I mean, obviously in the front where the adults are, we're allowed to have it. You know.
Can't. So American Airlines though had a ban on main cabin alcohol sales that was only supposed to last so long, but now they are not going to resume alcohol service for the main cabin until January 18th of 2022, so next year. They say that they want to create a safer environment for the crew members and the customers, and alcohol was not helping that during especially earlier COVID times last year.
It also says they've dished out $1 million in fines.
Oh, yeah, they're going after people.
And they said the steepest fine, I have not seen the story, the steepest fine of $45,000 was to a man who threw objects at fellow passengers and stuck his head up a flight attendant's skirt.
Oh, no.
The worst part is like $45,000 is like a large amount of money. Like he got on that plane not thinking he was going to get off having to pay $45,000.
Do you think they just take it out of your wages at that point?
I don't know what the heck you would do.
Who has $45,000 to pay a fine?
Exactly. Like if you get fined $45,000, like what the heck were you thinking?
2/3 of the cases involve passengers refusing mask rules. 17 involve fights on the planes. All headed to or from Florida. So they want to point that out. So they just say that alcohol can be a big problem with that. Before COVID and everything, I used to, we've all seen an unruly passenger when flying. Yeah. But one time I watched this guy, he just kept banging the table. Like he was really, really uncomfortable and he had been drinking a lot. But then I realized he was drinking because he was afraid of flying. And I know some people will try to do that, but then they sometimes will mix medicine or they'll drink too much, and then they just kind of lose control on the plane.
And that's when it starts to go downhill.
And it is. And then other people, you're just pre-gaming.
Yeah.
And then when you get on the plane, your pre-gaming affects everybody else on the plane.
And the worst thing, too, is when you're on a plane, nobody wants to be on a plane. You want to get on it and you want to get off it as soon as possible. So if you're being, annoying or an issue on a plane, we know you don't want to be there. But nobody else on the plane wants to be on there either. So you're making it 10 times worse for just everybody. Can't we just sit to ourselves and twiddle our thumbs for an hour or two?
Can we just be quiet until we get there? Unless, now, Isaiah, I would want to see someone. This is so bad. Don't judge me for it. But I wouldn't mind seeing someone duct taped to the chair. Okay. If nothing else happened and the guy or the girl's fine.
You just want to be sitting next to the guy that's duct taped.
No, I don't even want to be in the same row. I just want to see what that feels like.
To be on the plane when that happens. You want to be just close enough. You want to watch disaster happen from just close enough, but from a safe distance.
Just a safe watching distance. I want a viral video that I'm the one who took it, and that's all I want. Otherwise, I would like a peaceful flight, like you were saying.
Just a peaceful flight outside of his, he has to have an outburst, of course. It has to be crazy. And then the whole duct taping part. I want his mouth covered and also both hands behind the seat.
So Tom was saying that too. Can we just duct tape so that we don't get annoyed the whole flight? Now, technically, I think the airlines are backtracking, saying to their airline flight people, don't duct tape people to the chairs, but you never know.
The Riot Podcast. RadioU.
And we're getting to that point in time where people are beginning to go back to school. But this high school in California is not able to start because they have a rat infestation. I
don't even know if that conveys enough the infestation.
Literally.
I don't know if you saw, but they were saying how everybody's especially mad because at this high school and in this school district, it's Montebello, they had been putting pictures up the entire summer of painting, cleaning, all these schools, all in tip-top shape and stuff. And so everybody got really frustrated when teachers started to go back into the classrooms last week and this week. They arrived to kind of get everything ready for the students. And it was supposed to open on Monday this week, but that's when they noticed the non-human students.
Yeah, the little ones running around a little bit smaller than usual. Not little kids either.
So in this high school, they said that there is a massive rat infestation. There's dead rats. There's live rats. There's rat's nest. There's rats number 2. There's
everywhere.
Everything in
there's
all
rats.
Of the rooms. There's rats just totally taken over.
Well, it's funny because the kids, I don't know if they have to because during the summertime, like everybody loves summer, and then you're excited to go back to school in the fall. But you love summer. Like at least when I was in summertime, I was like, oh, I'm not ready to go back, right? But one of the quotes was from one of the students, and it read, I'll read it as if how I kind of took it. Today was supposed to be my first day of school in person since March of 2020. Aww. Instead, we're shut down because of a complete rat infestation.
Oh, they haven't been back since?
Since then, apparently, which I understand. You want to go back to school, but at the same time, I feel like this kid's kind of posing a little bit. He's not that excited to go back to school. He doesn't care. I would be excited, like, oh my gosh, another week of summer. Like, that'd be exciting for me.
Well, they sent an email out to everybody saying it's going to be closed for the next couple of weeks. So no, like, exact time. Wow. And since they had done so much in-person learning, they're now saying that students will be put on an independent study program.
Oh,
which,
my goodness.
When I ever did that, it was like, I'll independently not study then, but thank you.
So nothing.
So it doesn't seem like it'll be the same. They're not like starting Zoom classes all over again, but they do say it'll take a few weeks. They also had problems with air conditioning in some of the classrooms that had no windows. So they said that, for California, that's a COVID safety measure problem because you have to have a certain like ventilation system. Like, we got to breathe.
Yeah,
so you got to have air.
I don't know if that has anything to do with COVID, honestly. Like, at the same time, like, you just need AC in there,
Now they're watching it.
Yeah, exactly. Now they're like, okay, this is a COVID thing. We actually can't come back.
So they had that, and just they think the rats are also in the ducting, like, for the air conditioning unit. So that's
they're messing everything up. They're taking over.
Yeah, so it's just, it's, a nice reminder that as you go to class or if you go to work today, it could be way worse.
It could be a lot worse. Yeah, you could go and then there could be things scurrying under your feet. It just gives me the chills. Like there's nothing grosser than a little rat.
You just heard the worst of the worst. We'd give you the best of the best, but we'd have to find that. As soon as we do, you'll be the first to know.